Today we're talking more about the horses. When you tell people you're practicing mounted throwing, they're going to say, oh yeah, I know a guy who does that. They have a club, they have big national contests. When you say mounted throwing, people hear mounted shooting. No one ever thinks about mounted throwing. And in fact, mounted shooting and mounted throwing are totally different. Mounted shooting, they use a blank that shoots a balloon. Anyone can ride up to a balloon and shoot it with a blank. Anybody can. That's the easy part of that sport. The thing that makes it difficult is they got athletic horses, they're going at a breakneck speed. You got to shoot those balloons faster than the next guy. And the next guy might be a world-class horse trainer and have a world-class horse underneath him. It's difficult. In this sport, sticking a knife in the target is the hard part. That is the hard part. Whether you're walking or standing still or loping or trotting, it's difficult. Not everyone can do it. So we take speed out of the equation. We want to do it at 3 different gaits: walk, trot, and lope, but we don't care how fast you go when you do it. So when you're choosing a horse, you know, the old kid's horse might be a world champion mounted knife throwing horse because he's nice and calm. You want a horse that starts out and can hold it together and stay calm in a walk, a nice steady walk for 3 targets. Or do the same in lope and a trot. Now as you can see, I've got a lot more than 3 targets. This horse here, he's really good at the first and second target. By the third one, he starts to get excited. He wants to go fast. I don't know why. So I've got a dozen targets set up. When I go to a competition, 3 targets are just getting started for him because he's used to holding it together for 12. And if I only had 3 targets, I would have something after the 3rd target for that horse to do. So he's not really done with the run. He takes the run, the 3 targets, and then I have him step over a log, I have him go in between some trees, I have him do a bunch of other stuff. So he doesn't look forward to relaxing at the end of the 3rd target. If they relax at the end of the 3rd target every time, then they'll either stop or they'll run or they'll make the turn that they know they're going to turn around. They'll start turning too early and they'll get earlier and earlier. It will mess up your 3rd target. And we talk about 3 targets because in the competition we use 3 targets. All right, so I got this horse. Here's how I hold the reins. I'm going to put the reins in my hand first and the knives go on top. Could you hold this knife for me? The knives go on top. Then I put my finger in between the last 2 and I hold this one. So I've got this one ready to go. This one is out there so it's easy to grab. And of course there's the last one. If you don't think ahead and you hold your reins on top, you can't get your knife out when it's time. And depending on the weather, those knives, if you hold them like that, they might be stuck together and hard to get apart. For these knives, at the 13-foot mark, I plant the corner of the butt of that knife right in the bottom of the palm of my hand. Every time I grab that knife, that's where it is. I know I'm ready to throw. My thumb is on the side. I don't use the bouquet grip, it's the handshake grip. My thumb is not on top for the one spin. That's my grip. I'm going down the path looking for the minimum distance marker. As I'm approaching that marker, my horse is on track, he's on pace. I shift my attention to the target. As I approach that target, I got my hand extended. I find if I got my hand extended, it all helps with the timing. As I approach the target, it's almost time to throw, I bring it back and throw. You'll find that when you start throwing on the back of the horse, the knife doesn't want to spin. You think you're doing everything right, but you'll be nervous about stuff. You're worried about the horse, you're worried about whether you're going to be able to hit the target from up above it, worried about whether you're going to hit it because you're moving past, and you'll throw your knife and you won't follow through. You'll throw it, you just let it slide out of your hand and it won't spin. It's going to hit the target like this and fall to the ground. So if you approach your target as you're getting ready, extend your arm, bring her back. When it's ready, let her go, and then follow through. Bring your wrist over and follow through. If you stop here, the knife will spin too fast. If you just let it slide out of your hand, it'll spin too slow. So you need to cock it back, bring your wrist over, and follow through. A lot of your practice can be on the ground. You don't have to involve your horse in it. And I would suggest that. In order to get your throwing form, your delivery down, and your grip solidified, you can do that on the ground. But like I said in previous videos, your stance has to be exactly the same every time. If you're on your horse, it's going to be exactly the same because you can't hardly move. When you're walking, you have to make it the same every time, just to prepare to be on your horse. And I would suggest, once you've narrowed down where you're going to throw in relationship to your line of travel, you throw as your off leg, and that, for me, it's my left leg. As my left leg comes forward with this step is when I throw, and I continue moving. You'll find if you throw from here sometimes, you throw from here, your spin will be different and you won't learn much. So I walk down the path, I look at where my distance is going to be, where my spot to throw is. I take that last step, cock back, and throw right there. If I can get that on the ground, then it's more easy to get it on my horse.